Alright, hello again. Haven't posted a video for a while. It's been a mixture of actually running out of fragrances, or rather ones that I actually have enough of to review, because again, without going off on a tangent, I've been reviewing fragrances often, or not just fragrances but lots of things off and on over the years. That camera, there we go. So yeah, it was just I fancied a break from it. Obviously I've been doing hair product reviews as well, done numerous of them, and I just sort of took a step back. I've been studying, obviously I've been looking to get into a different kind of industry. I normally work in security, and again, without going off into another tangent with that, yeah, just life, like things, you know, sometimes when I say I'm generally busy, it does mean that, because I'll be honest, most people who say they're busy, it's not always that way. It's just a kind of a thing that people say. But yeah, so I'm glad to kind of be less busy now and able to crack on again. I bought some new fragrances, come into a bit of money. Again, that could be a video for another time. So yeah, without further ado, we move on to the review. I just thought I'd do a little introduction, as it's been a while, and for anybody who sees this or follows what I've been doing, I don't just do hair product reviews, I do fragrances, and I'm also looking into doing various other things, as I mentioned in a previous video, and I'll try and not go right into it. I have reviewed for supplement companies over the years, in terms of protein powders, pre-workout powders and so on, and I've also done video game reviews for forums for a company that used to be based in the UK, Electronics Boutique, but they closed down donkeys years ago. So I've got a few ideas, and I just thought I'd add that in there, you know, so to kind of give people a heads up of what I might, or people that watch this, heads up of what I'll be able to do it going forward in the future. So onto the actual review. So this is called Spice Bomb Extreme by Victor and Rolf. Now, I have mentioned this in previous videos of mine. This is something that I smelt a long time ago, probably about a year or so ago, and it gets a lot of compliments and positive reviews online. That's what actually drew me to this, because again, Victor and Rolf, I'd never heard of the company, and again, it was kind of, this isn't a blind buy. I have smelt this in the past, as I said, but this I finally managed to pick up 90ml for just under £90, so that's about its money. Online you can get the 50ml for anywhere from £40 to £50, and it ranges anywhere up to 100 for the 90ml. This is the biggest bottle. This is based on the original Spice Bomb, which I've also smelled. I don't want to use the cliche of the clue is in the title, but this is a much stronger, more potent version of that. So obviously, if you've smelt the original, they also did several different versions of this that I've also smelled. There's a red version, I think that's something night, and then there's a green one as well that the name escapes me. But personally, having smelt them all, this is the one that most people gravitate towards. This is the one that is kind of their main, shall we say, their main product nowadays. It also tends to be the most expensive for that reason. But without further ado, we'll go over the notes, and kind of give you an idea of what this smells like, and then I'm going to put it on my skin and give my final review. So as I said, the price ranges from £50 to £100 for 50 and 90ml. Experience a sensory explosion with Spice Bomb Extreme, the intense EDP for men by Victor and Rolf. Spice Bomb Extreme reveals an intense explosion of heat. The sparkling grapefruit top notes are enhanced by notes of pimento berries along with black pepper to deliver a fresh opening. The aromatic heart is surrounded by the scent of warm spices, which are cumin, cinnamon and saffron, giving it a masculine yet sensual personality. The note of tobacco is strengthened by the balsamic notes of vanilla and bourbon, which are contrasted with warm woody amber for an oriental experience. So, sounds very nice on paper. Again, not preempting it, but you can, when you smell this, and especially on yourself, which I always recommend, obviously you can smell it on someone, smell it on one of the cards if I've got them. Where are they? I.e. the tester cards that you get in the shops and so on. But personally, I always, if I like something, I'll put it on my skin, I'll leave the store, I'll go an hour or two, not just the initial smell, but also you want to review the dry down, because again, and I'll reiterate this because this will save you money, so this is useful advice, this isn't just opinion. A lot of fragrances have heavy top notes that people really like, say a citrus, that they think, oh, that's really nice, and then they'll automatically go and pay the money and buy it. I've made that mistake, everybody makes that mistake. The issue with it being a top note is they're very, should we say, fleeting, meaning that smell will go within X amount of time. So it's more of the dry down for me that appeals. Like again, if the opening's very nice, most people will compliment it. That's how I see it as an EDT, i.e. it goes on the skin, you get an amazing radiance for anywhere from an hour to two, and then it fades away to nothing. Obviously EDP is more built for longevity and the performance, and in that regard this does very well. Obviously I've worn it several times now, that's why I'm giving a review not just based on one smelling. I do my reviews over multiple wearings. So without further ado, as I said, sounds very good on paper. I already knew this was very good, hence why I wanted to buy the bottle, because I smelled it before. Comes like a weird, kind of a cool design. It's like a grenade. You pull this pin off here, and I thought I'd mention this because this is kind of important. I thought this was just a design thing, but according to some reviews I've looked on Amazon and a few other websites, you do have some leakage from these bottles. Now I don't have that issue with this. I'm not sure if it's to do with this staying on, i.e. look, this little dangly, like the grenade pin, you know, like you peel off a grenade and throw it. But don't throw this, because just in case this is just a design nuance, or that it actually protects the bottle from leaking. So I leave that on there ever since reading that review. Plus it's kind of cool having that as a grenade. I think it also stops the stopper as well. So as I said, try and hold on to that. I know people throw boxes and so on away, but in this instance try and keep hold of this just for a bit of security of it not leaking, i.e. around the rim where the atomizer is. So without further ado, do 3 sprays. So yeah, already super radiant. That's like a common theme with people that really like certain things. It's not just the initial radiance, it's radiance that's lasting. I'm not going to go in right now, because if I can smell this, detect this really strong now, I find that when you go straight in, it's not always as accurate, plus it can be very overpowering. And this is one of the strongest, almost a pre-workout, it's one of the strongest aftershaves I've ever had, or EDPs I should say. But again, I'm already getting that radiance. I am getting the spices. The weird thing is, I am, even though I mentioned there's bourbon, I do drink brandy, I do drink rum. How this comes across to me, the alcohol note in there, it's more of like a sweet rum. And again, that could be because I also have different flavoured rums. I get Morgan Spice rum and so on, or have done in the past. So I find this very pleasant. And this is just the opening. This is just on my arm here. So again, talking about radiance of this aftershave, or EDP, sorry, it is very potent, where you will have a wall around you, not room filler, but you notice it and other people do, and as they say online, it's a compliment getter. Pretty much every time I wore it, there'll be one or two, depending on who I come into contact with, especially within that first hour or two. The radiance is very prominent. So I'm hoping it dies down. I know that it won't, but I'm going to try and go for a closer inspection and go over some of the notes, how I detect it. So personally, I would say this is more of a winter fragrance. I think that you could get away with it in summer depending on the environment, but again, the term chlorine, because it's so potent, I personally wouldn't really recommend this in terms of a office environment, more for going out clubbing and a date night clubbing environment. So it's very nice, it's very pleasant. I don't want to say it's fresh and clean because it isn't really that. It has got that darker edge. Obviously you've got the smokiness from the tobacco. The spices are very pleasant, or at least to me. I get like the rum aspect of it, and the spices are very prominent. They're not too overpowering, as some people might say, again, because I have read online. I've seen, you know, again, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but for me at least, I think it's very wearable. You're going to get compliments, and it is very masculine, as said in the notes. So I think it ticks a lot of boxes. The only issue, and why I'm going to give this an 8.5 and not a 9, is purely based on the fact that I think it will be very personal with if you really like it or not. I think it's very wearable. Most people will be able to wear it, but I think it's something that will be limited to the winter, clubbing, night environments, more so than day, summer, kind of like what the weather is in the UK at the moment. Very hot, very humid. And in that sense, I think it's okay, but or rather, it's a very good EDP, just not really for summertime. There are some instances where you might be able to get away with it, say summertime evening going into night, but definitely not really a day fragrance, in my opinion. So yeah, 8.5 out of 10 for the Victor and Rolf Extreme Spice Bomb. So highly recommended. More of a winter fragrance. There's nothing more I can say really. Yeah, very nice and spicy.